Welcome to Surface Intel with Ina. Today I have a very special guest, my dear good friend Ana Hernandez, all the way from Spain. He's here with me, and we have known each other for how many years? 4 years
I
now?
think 4 years now, yes.
Yeah, 4 years, and life has brought us far from 4 years ago. If you look back, so many things happen, and today we're gonna talk about some of it, not all of it.
Not all. Better not to talk about everything.
Yeah, better not talk about everything. Yeah, but some of it. Yeah, Anna. So you can give a little bit of introduction about yourself.
All right. First of all, thank you so much for having me, Ina. It's very special to me because, as you said, a lot of things has changed in the last 4 years. Especially the first time I think I came here to Formula and met you, I didn't have my business that I have now, Entre Azules. So it's good to realize how many things has changed. And also, before we start, I want to apologize for my strong Spanish accent.
Also, my Maldivian accent.
Exactly.
So you and I are the same.
Exactly. Saying that, we can start. So if I have to introduce myself, I will say my name is Ana, and I am from Spain. I am a writer from Spain. Basically, what I like to do most is write my novels. So right now I am about to publish my fourth novel, my fourth book. And the special thing, and I think that's why we are here today, is because the last book that I published, Entre Azules, is a book that I wrote about the Maldives. The meaning of Entre Azules, it means between blues. And Maldives, I think, is a country surrounded by blues. And thanks to that book, if I have to tell my story in a few words, it's just like it's a book about a girl who fell in love with the ocean. And a lot of readers felt connected to the main character because the ocean is known to be unpredictable, scary, full of scary creatures. And then this main character of the book starts experiencing a lot of things in the ocean, and then she completely fall in love with the sharks, the whales, the fishes, and then that got connected to a lot of people that they were afraid about the ocean, and after reading the book they were interested in the oceans, and they start wanting to experience these feelings that you have when you swim with amazing creatures. So then a lot of people start texting me like, oh my God, I read the book, I want to feel and experience the same things that Federica, which is the name of the main character, experienced in the book. So then I started to organize trips around the ocean for my readers who wanted to come and swim with sharks, Nemos, coral reefs, and everything that you can swim with here in the Maldives. And that's how Entre Azules, my company, started like 3 years ago.
It's amazing, that a book that you wrote during the pandemics. I imagine you were stuck in Mafushi, right?
Exactly.
And then you decided, and I know that the reason that you had so much time and it was a difficult time in your life where your mom passed away,
Yeah.
and then you decided to write this book. Tell me a little bit about where did you start and why, like how did you start this book? I know I know the story, but if you don't mind sharing. Yeah.
Of course. So basically, the story I think is a beautiful story because again, I was a girl who was not in the ocean industry. I was actually working in fashion. I lived in New York City for so many years, but the ocean was always there for me as a place that you can go and escape. So when I was 30 years old, I have my first crisis, and then I was thinking, this is what I want in life. I was living in Madrid at that time, and I have a very established life with a normal job, a normal lifestyle like all my friends had. But still there was something that it was empty to me. So I came to the Maldives at the beginning as a tourist, and then I arrived to Mafusi, which is a local island where I live now. And then I found myself happy, I felt freedom, and I wanted to stay there. So I decided to take a break in my life, come to the Maldives to write my third book, Entre Azules, and then to be inspired about all these creatures, especially the lifestyle that people close to the ocean has. No, I think it's a completely different way of living. These people that are free and swimming with creatures and living this life, traveling around, than people that lives in a routine. So that's how I started to write my book, basically to explain how a girl can change from this completely lifestyle to this other one. I came, it was 2019, the first time that I came. Pandemia, COVID-19 exploded on 2020. So then I started writing the book in the lockdown. The lockdown, I lived in Mafusi. And it was a completely different lockdown, the lockdown that we experienced here in the Maldives than European cities, that they were like absolutely closed doors, like they couldn't go out on the streets. And then here in this island, I still could go to the ocean some days. That's how I wrote Entre Azules. And then, yeah, unfortunately, the COVID in my family hit us like every way you can imagine. Like, first, it took away my grandmother. And then, second, it took away my mom. And my mom was a young woman, only 60 years old, that it was not the time for her to go. But again, I always feel like from the hardest moments of your life, you can, if you are smart enough and if you are strong, you can convert these bad moments in something good. So I decided to write this book and then focus on my experience in the COVID Entre Azules. And actually now the one that I am going to publish in a few months, in September it will be out, is about my mom and then also Baja California, Mexico, which is a place where I went after the Maldives to write this last book.
You just said something actually very very profound. Any bad moment of life, you can use those energy and turn it into something amazing, which you have done, and I have witnessed it from the beginning, right? And I remember 4 years ago when I met you, you haven't done a single group in Maldives, you have no company, you were just starting your business and your book and as well. And I remember the first time you came to this island with Nina and Vicente and you, and we were sitting at this restaurant next to our dive shop. That was actually when I was starting as well. The
True.
company just started, right? And we were talking about social media, how to grow social media, like how to do everything, like we were going back and forth. And I saw you grow, like, and it's not because you are here or it's because you are a friend of mine. This I'm saying this. I've been in the industry for 20 plus years, in the social media space for since I started my company, and I know so many people in the industry who run trips, who runs company. I don't think there's anybody in the industry that does the way you do or sell as quickly as you sell. Like I was in Mount Fuji a month or 2 months ago, and you launched, I don't know, 700 spots. In 24 hours, everything was sold out. 700 spots, which is insane. I just want you to give away whatever information for someone who's listening, how you did it, how much work. Obviously, not many people understand the hard work behind it, and I know that I see you doing every day what you do, but if you can share like the hard work that you put behind in 4 years to get here, that would be amazing actually.
So thank you. It's actually when I hear you speaking about that, I realize how crazy it is how the business grow, no? So I think a lot of people ask me that, like, how was your marketing strategy or how was your business plan? And basically, the honest truth is, like, I feel that I never had a business plan, but what I did, or I think it get people trust me, is like I was always very natural. I was always open. I never fake anything. So even with the book, when at the beginning when I started promoting the trip, the groups and everything that I did, what I was telling the people is like, look, you can, in a very humble way, I was telling them, you can also experience this, like swimming with sharks. What I feel is like in the industry, as you say, you have been here 20 years. I was not from this industry before, but what I have seen is just like, for example, when I see amazing people that I admire like Ocean Ramsey or someone of the big people in the industry, I see them their profiles, and what I think is like, oh wow, this is too much for me. This is very professional. Like, this is incredible. I don't know if I could be doing that. I feel what I offer that is differently to other people is like I get close to people by telling them that obviously sometimes I am scared. Sometimes, I mean, at the beginning I didn't see myself swimming with tiger sharks. But again, it's just like everything, you need to start from the beginning in order to build trust from people. So at the beginning when I came, I started telling them, look, the main character of my book, at the beginning, she was not an ocean person. She was just a girl that was a little afraid of the ocean, but then she started swimming with the coral reefs, then the turtles, then dolphins, then little by little you start building a relationship with the ocean that it doesn't come from one day to the other. Like, I don't think any person can jump with great white sharks if you never experienced other things before, no? So about the groups, what I feel like it made me being successful so quick is just like I was always humble, and I was always telling the people that I was also not an ocean girl in the past, but now after a lot of years and experiences, different creators, different trips, different countries where you can swim with amazing creators, you become that, no? I feel like every girl that come to my trip, and as you say, it is very crazy that I have now sometimes 40 people every week for so many months. And basically the feedback, the most important thing that I get from these girls is like, oh my God, like I never thought that I will be swimming with sharks. And after seeing you in social media, seeing that you saw the ocean as a place where everyone can go, not only professional people, I am here. And then so they first come to my Maldives trip, which is, I always say that is for beginners, because it's true, like we start the trip with something simple that like reefs, coral reefs, Pan Reef. Like we take them to Pan Reef. I don't know if you know the reef in Mafusi, and then they first start with Nemo fishes, Dories. Like I say it in a cute way because again, it's a way to start understanding that he's not afraid. Then black tip shark appear into the scene, and then everybody, all the girls are like, oh my god, a shark. And then they see that these animals don't do anything to them. So little by little, they start growing a trust from the oceans. And it's just beautiful to see how girls that come to the first groups with no experience, then they go home, they do the free dive course, then they do the open water course, and then they start coming over and over again to our formula experience, improving a lot and building this trust.
You know what I noticed also on your audience,
Yeah.
is what 80%, 90% females, right?
Yes.
And 80-90% girls who join your trip, which I find very interesting. And also, like when you host trips here, most of them are girls,
Yes.
and they love sharks. When they come here, they love sharks. And which you put something very interesting, actually. Someone who's been in the industry for 20 years and seen everything from coral reef to great white to you name it, all kind of things. I've experienced it in the water, and I have my own business as well here now. And we sometimes forget, someone who haven't been in the ocean or who haven't seen a coral reef or a Nemo or a dory or a turtle. For that person, like how special it can be.
Exactly.
For us it's like, amazing 20 plus tiger sharks, and that's like an amazing experience. So we very quickly forget, the people that how we felt when we saw our first Nemo.
Exactly.
How the turtle, and then you tapped it correctly.
Yeah.
Started addressing that to your audience on social media, and so many people relate to that, and then they start joining, and then they start there, and then eventually they join all your trips and make their level higher and higher.
Because it's actually something very important to say. I get a lot of hate in social media, like this girl put people that doesn't know how to swim in the ocean. And I found that a lot of people in the industry, in the ocean industry, not very good with people that are not into the ocean yet. Yeah. But what happened? Like the ocean is only for these professional people. If you are a girl from a city that you don't have an ocean and then you want to start, what? Like I feel like sometimes people are like, these people don't know how to swim. You are not even an advanced diver. I am a dive master. Like, Anne, what? Have you born being a dive master? No, you build it, that relationship. So I feel honestly like the key of my success in this industry is like I put the ocean close to people that they never thought that they could be swimming with sharks. And this is beautiful also, not only because you see the excitement in their faces. Actually, I remember the other day when we were talking a little bit about this interview, you told me, like, I will tell you what is the best of this experience. And to me, the best is like seeing the faces of people that never saw something big in the ocean, and then they are swimming with a manta or they are swimming with dolphins, and they come to the boat, I swear, with the happiest faces that I ever seen in my life. They are like, oh my God, I couldn't believe this is for me. And this is beautiful. No? What is beautiful is like you make them fall in love with the ocean, and it's a public, it's a target of people that are very grateful. They are always happy no matter what they see. They appreciate it because, again, like the ocean is beautiful in every sense. You don't really need to have a crazy tiger sharks encounter to appreciate how beautiful it is. And I feel like I am also a person that get excited about the little things, and sometimes I found myself looking at just a Nemo family or like a beautiful turtle, and then I'm like, wow, it's impressive. Like obviously I also want to see humpback whales, mating, but when I see the beautiful small things, it's also amazing. And I think this is why I tell in my stories, tell in my Instagram, and this is why people love to come with us, because at the end it's like we are people that enjoy every single thing. And the key, I think, is that
I relate to that. I also get asked, pretty much everybody who come and dive with us, especially in Pelagic for tigers, like, don't you get bored of doing this every single day? Because I love sharks and those are my favorite animal in the ocean, I don't get bored of sharks. But that's not the reason, actually. I love to go in the water with people is if I love sharks and if I want to do it myself, I will go myself or with me and Hisan or someone, we can go have fun with the sharks. But the reason that I go with the people is every single time we take someone new in the water and they come back up either crying,
Yeah.
happiness. Is life-changing experience for a lot of people. And that excitement, seeing someone have been, appreciating something that I love so much, that transferring the energy to somebody else is what makes me my day happiest. Tigers are there, I can do it every day, but I'm happy to do that every day. But seeing someone getting so excited and emotional and crying, your friend Fatih, when she was here last time, we
Yes.
had an amazing, and she was crying like a baby.
She told me.
She when she came back on the boat. I mean, it's common with us, and I'm sure it's common with you. Someone who
Yeah.
see a turtle for the first time, or a manta ray, or a whale shark, or something, and they
Yeah.
always, I think, and that is the way to change the perception about a shark or a turtle or a Nemo or a reef or an ocean in general, is giving these experiences to so many. And you host how many, 2,000 people a year?
Yeah.
2,000 people a year. That means you literally changing 2,000 people perspective towards ocean. Even if they know how to swim or doesn't matter. You taking them in a safe way and showing them, encouraging them. And that is the most of the excitement we get is that.
Totally agree. To me, it's the most beautiful part. Seeing girls that came for the first time, because Maldives also, it was a country that at the beginning people was relating the country only to resorts or dive, liveaboards and divers. So now when you create this experience that is for normal people, you don't need a very, very big budget. And then you can come. And then at the beginning, some of the girls come like, oh, I'm only going to swim with the turtles because with the rest of the people I am afraid. But then they come and then they jump and they see like nothing happen when you swim with, I don't know, 100 nurse sharks, that like nothing happened, like you can swim with them. And then you also see the black tips, and then you see the gray sharks, and then everything starts changing in their minds. And it's, to me, it's the most beautiful thing, seeing these girls that come for the first time to the Maldives. They fall in love, they come back home, they get the open water license, the free diving course, and then they come back again to the Maldives, for example, to our special trip that we organized together, Pelagic, coming here to Formula. And then I see them swimming with tiger sharks that at the beginning when I met them, it was something that it was not even in their heads. Like they never thought that they will do that. And changing them, this perception of the ocean, to me is beautiful. And then it got to a point, talking a little bit about how also the business growth, where every girl came and they were like, what's next, what's next? So that's why we started to open in more destinations. Like we opened Baja California, where they can see sea lions. And then we opened Bahamas, when they can swim with hammerhead sharks. And to me, this is the beautiful thing. Like I created a community that they was not a diver community. It was something completely different. But now they become divers, and it's the beautiful thing.
Exactly. And the way you did it is, I think, when I have time, I need to do a case study of you. Like I said at the beginning, I have never seen in the ocean. So there are people who with millions of followers, right? Like they are followers, but you don't have million for, you have 200,000 or something,
Yeah.
like, but you have fan. You have 200,000 people who are fans of yours, and whatever you do, whatever you say, they are willing to. You go, like somewhere to Bimini, and then you opened Great Hammerhead. In 24 hours, you sold what, like 40 sports, 20?
Yes. Yes. Like 40. Yeah.
Yeah, 40 people willing to pay a lot of money and join. You go to even Africa for wildlife, so,
Yeah.
like you opened it and people willing to follow. So I think something you did right on Instagram specifically, I don't know what it is, how, like, we all do pretty much link, but I think from everything that I have seen is the way you tell your story on Instagram stories that made you so successful. I actually admire your success so much. It's like, wow, like how is she doing it? Like you have put one story, you have like 30, 40,000 people looking at your story, which is like, if you look at the statistics, it's amazing. And if you can give away some of those, like how do you grow your social media and have people as fans, not just followers, like as fans, like.
Again, I think it's being natural. Like I've seen, for example, accounts that I follow, underwater photographers that are women that I follow, and then I feel like when they speak in the camera, like something simple like a selfie talk, they look amazing. You can tell that they did a little bit makeup, that the hair looks good, that they are preparing this time or this story where they are going to talk. To me, I talk like I went out of the ocean and then like this with a horrible face. I was like, girls, oh my god, I swim with whatever tiger sharks. Like I am always natural. I always try to be natural in Instagram, and actually this is a feedback that I always get from the girls that come here. Like, oh my god, like I feel like I know you because you are very natural in Instagram. Very, how you say in English, cercana. Like I look a close person to them. Someone that is always telling what she does. I mean, obviously I take care of my privacy also, but it's true. Like I tell, like, oh, I am afraid. Even yesterday, for example, I share in Instagram that sometimes when I do deep dives, I feel afraid. It's something like maybe if you have an ocean account and everybody's following you, you look like this perfect person that doesn't have fears, that she's not afraid. No, I tell them that I am afraid sometimes. Sometimes I get dizzy in the boats. So people think like, oh, this is a normal human being. No, it's just like more like a person that it can be close to them, a friend, than something that is, oh, I'm not gonna reach to this level. That is what I felt with some accounts that are like, wow, this is like even it's too much for me. It's too professional to me. I think the key is just being natural, like tell your fear, like show in the world that you are another human like anyone else, like that it can be afraid of things, that it has you have bad days, some days you are sad, some days you cry. Like it's I feel for me in Instagram, even some of my friends is like, you don't feel the same when you look horrible. Like sometimes like I even have a bag in my nose in the story. No, and it's just like, I'm not gonna delete it. And they're like, but you are not the same. I'm like, no, it's just like it's how life is. Like
Exactly. And I agree with you, and also one thing that again admire you a lot is your consistency. And I, as someone who have like 5 companies and run like few businesses, I know how important consistency is regardless of what you do in your life. Like consistency is one of the key thing. And I know you have gone through some difficult times recently, and when I and at the same time I was also going through some things, and my social media I completely stopped.
Yeah.
Not on my company, not my personal. I didn't post nothing. But when I look at you, and I'm like, how is she doing it? I know what's going on,
I was in the
your
middle
life.
of a war.
Yeah,
You
you're in
can
the
say.
middle of a war, like, and I know everything. And like, how are you doing it? I mean, of course, I was doing things that I was necessary to do, but I just couldn't pay attention to social media, and I just didn't want even to be on. For me, social media, I mean, for our businesses and company, we use social media to attract people and tell our stories, and then they find us, and then we don't like. It's not something. It's very toxic.
Yeah,
You
it's
know,
totally toxic. Yeah.
I get death threats sometimes.
Really?
Yeah, like last time when I posted about the incident in Holomale, I made a reaction video, and I got people calling me and putting me like telling me death threats. But I don't care. One thing is you don't have. I agree with you. The more natural you are, the more the more people
Yeah, but
relate.
also not get into,
Yeah.
well, for example, politics. I will never say what is my opinion about something that it can be very tricky. Political stuff, something that it can bring you enemies. You have to be very careful with that. I never post my personal opinions about anything like that. But Instagram is true, like it's toxic, and you have to have a healthy relationship with it. I also get a lot of hate, and as a woman, and again, as simple as people telling me like, you put girls in the water that they don't have no idea, like you're fat, you're ugly. I get a lot of that also, but I learn.
Does it get you? Like, does it
Yeah.
makes you upset, angry?
Actually, yeah, it's something like at the beginning I thought, it will never get me. I remember like I met a big influencer in my country, and then she was telling me like she was depressed, and then I thought, how can you be depressed of comments of people that you don't really know? No, like to me, I will be depressed if my close friends tell me like, you are disgusting. But a girl that I don't know that is saying that I am disgusting, what do I get that like? What did it? It will never affect me. And I was wrong. As soon as I start growing and I start receiving a lot of hate, it's true, like it can get you. Like, and I think it didn't get me much because I am old now. I think I have a personality that I built with my years. I am 35, so it's not like I am 20. So when I see that a girl is calling me fat or ugly or you have a disgusting ass,
Is it other women?
always.
Oh, always girls.
Always.
Oh, that's interesting.
I never really. The only bad comment that I can have for a man is like, I want to fuck you, something stupid like that. But not really much. And all the the real hate that I have is from women. This is something crazy also to me. But what I was saying is like Instagram, you need to learn. To me, I put a barrier. Like I put all the comments of people that I don't follow or that I never have an interaction with them. I put them in a folder that is a request folder that in order for me to read it, I have to go on purpose and check. Otherwise, I don't check. I live happy. And about what you say, being constant and working hard is a job. Sometimes people are like, I want your life. I'm like, no, like some days, obviously, I wake up and I don't feel like posting anything because I'm going through a bad time or because, but you need to force yourself because being constant is the key. And at the end of the day, it helps. And it's also a way for me to express myself. Sometimes I don't really talk about my private life, but I put comments that people that really follow me since years ago, they know how I'm feeling. I will never post, for example, if I have a boyfriend or not. That is something that I will never go on my social media. I prefer to keep my privacy private. But for example, in this world that I have been through, I have been having some problems, and I think because Entre Azules grows so fast that I didn't think about a lot of things that I should have thought about if I would have made a business plan or something. And I went through a very bad time. And then I wrote sentences that people that really follows me deeply, they knew that I was going through a bad time. And they were like, I don't know what's going on, but I send you strength, or I send you love. It's just like, it's actually even sometimes good to express yourself out, to let it out. I don't know. It's a tool that is very complicated, but I found that if you know how to use it good, it can help you to grow.
Yeah, you're a perfect example of that. Like you by yourself working hard and consistently, you built a platform, and then you in last 4 years you have done so much and brought so many people in the ocean, and gave them this experience, and not just here in Maldives, in Mexico, in uh, uh,
Bahamas,
Bahamas,
Mauritius,
Mauritius,
French
and
Polynesia soon.
yeah, you're gonna do French Polynesia soon. And regardless, it doesn't matter what location you're gonna do. Wherever you go, there are people who's gonna follow you. They're fans. You're gonna grow. So you position yourself in such a good way that I always told to my friends, we need to do a case study how she did it. And I know your book help, your consistency, your hard working, and I know how it is like. Like I work right now. I'm working 18 hours a day. I wake up 4 o'clock in the morning every single day, and I'm working on new projects, and I'm doing it. And of course, my social media is not active because I feel like there are other priorities for me because my company runs itself, and we obviously have to put a lot of social media effort. That's why I'm actually hiring someone to do it, because at this point for me, doing it everything by myself, working 18 hours a day is like too much.
It's hard.
Sometimes you need to live your life.
Yeah.
People see that you're traveling in Mexico, in Baja, and Mauritius, whatever, doesn't matter, and they think we're just having fun. Of course, we are putting things that we want to put on social media to look at, but actually on behind the scene,
There is a lot of work.
there's a lot of work
A
going
lot.
on. And I think a lot of people don't realize that. They think we just post in social media. No,
Yeah.
like running a business.
Oh no, it brings you a lot of things. Nights where you don't sleep, a lot of work that they don't see, like failures. Like a lot of times you fail, no? Like
Exactly.
nothing is perfect, and then you made mistakes, and as it's part of the game. But to me, for example, social media, I thought at some point, oh my god, I'm gonna give this job to someone, but it will look my essence.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it will not be me if I don't do it. So at the end of the day, I realized that it's better to give other part of the job to people that can help you. And also it's very important to have a good team. Let's just agree on that. Like I am here today because I have an amazing team working with me. And I've been lucky about that because I really consider that I have a very, very good team. And then Vicente, as you say, like you mentioned him, that we met when we were only friends, and then he ended up joining the company. Or Lud, Aina, I can obviously mention all the team that I have now working in Entre Azules. This is a very important key, but to me, my business works thanks to Instagram. So Instagram is a tool that it can build amazing relationship with humans. I will never say that the girls that follows me are fans. Fans is something that I don't like to call it fans. It's just more like friends or girls that they see that there is a different way of being a brave woman into this industry. That, by the way, I would love to say this is something that I thought that we were talking about, like being a woman in this industry. Sometimes
I
I
was
feel
gonna ask you that question.
Yeah.
But if you want to talk about like what are your challenges as a woman, and especially in this particular industry, which is very toxic. It's fun experience for people, but at the top there's a lot of drama and a lot of toxicity, and people are jealous. People want to put down each other, and like if they're not selling trips, and then like talk shit about other people. And so as a woman, what are the challenges you face in this? I was gonna ask you that question. Yeah.
As a woman, sometimes I feel like I have seen a lot of girls giving this speech like, I'm a woman and they treat me differently. To me, I never felt that. This is the truth. Like, I have amazing friends in the industry that are men. And the sad thing is, like, sometimes when I feel that I was, some people were treating me differently, it was always woman, which is very tricky for me. Of course, in this industry, you will always get these comments like, she's successful because she's having sex with a lot of people. And you and me, we talk about this. Like, I feel when a woman is successful, they will always relate her on something like that. Same like when a man is successful, the easy way to attack him is like, he's a rapist. Like, he is like that. Like, if you are a woman successful, you are a bitch. I mean, a whore. I don't know how to say that in a nice way. I'm sorry about the bad words. And if you are a man, you will be something like, he raped girls, he's disgusting with girls. I have seen these comments, but outside of that, I don't think I ever felt less than a man in this industry. This is the truth. I feel like I am successful in what I do, and I see that there are men and women successful also. I never look up to a woman thinking that she was horrible. If anything, the opposite. I really know who is like. I have some women that I admire in the industry, and then I have them there, and then I look up to them like, wow, they do these things good. How can I improve, or what can I learn from what they do? And same with men. Like, I see men that are successful, and I'm like, wow, I want to look up to them like this. But I never felt like, sometimes they ask me like, oh, it must be horrible to be a woman. It's not about being a woman. It's more about ego in the industry, and the problems that I had is ego, but it comes from women and from men the same. Like, some people, they cannot understand why, if I was not in this industry before, why I am more successful than this other human that was here trying to do groups forever, and then they don't sell the spots, and then they hate me because I sell the spots. Like, but it has never had to do with being a woman. This is
And it's really refreshing to hear that, from a successful woman. Like, to be honest, like, I know a lot of stories that is similar, or accused, men being accused, or women being, like, I think at the end of the day, I don't know about other industries. I don't want to talk about other industries that I don't know how the challenges women. Obviously, everybody face different challenges, but I think if you even look at our dive shop, right, the person who get most respect is not me.
Isan.
It's Anne. It's Anne, and she's not even a diver. He's never been scuba diving, but she's so good at what she does, and she's the only female employee I have. Only female employee. And she's so good at what she does. Every guy, every boy, like all my boys, they love her, they adore her, and if she says something, period, that's it.
Yeah.
Nobody asks her question. Nobody, not even myself. I
yeah.
never, because she's proven that she's good at it. And I think
and everybody respect her
yeah,
because she shows a character and a personality that you have to respect.
exactly. So I think it's possible.
Yeah.
I'm not saying it's easy. I'm not saying there's no challenge, but I'm saying is looking at you, and you're one of my closest female friend, and then I have Anne working for me, every day, 24 hours. Like, she's on all the time. And they prove, and you also prove, you can get there.
Yeah.
And if you don't pay attention to negativity. And I had a couple of other female employees, like, they started like, oh, these boys are mean, or these, like, it's difficult to work with them, and then they never go to the level where Anne is. But Anne never pay. Like, boys sometimes, like the guys that they make fun, they make jokes, and they laugh, and then you don't feel like you fit in, or you don't feel like you're part of the conversation. But she never paid attention to that.
Yeah.
She does what she does so good now. She's on the top. Same with you. I guess you never paid attention to any of those negativity. And
also, I have to say that I work on people. In order to people to respect you, you need to show them that they have to respect you. Yeah. You cannot do stupid things, obviously. Like, it can look simple, but it's true. Like, if you are looking for a team to respect you, like, you have to do things that, I don't know how to say this, I don't want to get in trouble, but you know what I mean. I don't arrive to a place and I start doing things that then people can say, I will not respect a girl who is doing this. Yeah. It's just like, you need to be smart. And respect comes when you are smart. But it's true, like, if you are, I've been, for example, Maldives is a Muslim country, and then one of the biggest fears that, for example, my family had when I moved here is like, but you are a woman in a Muslim country. And I was like, and I'm telling you, like, I never had problems because I am a woman. It was more, again, ego, like, ego that like, she cannot be better than me. But I don't think it was because I was a woman. It's just like, even in the dive shop that I work with them now, Mafusi Dai, for example, they are all men, and then we are all working together, and then they respect us, we respect them, because my team is also mostly girls. I don't think we ever been in a position where men disrespect us because we are women. Now, also, I'm telling you that we work in this respect. It doesn't come. Sometimes you have to work a little bit. Like, you cannot do stupid things being a woman in the industry, because then you have to build this trust and this respectful figure. I don't know if I am explaining myself good.
Yeah, and it is like like I said, different industries and different people face different challenges, and the key is, you gotta be, if you know what you want in your life, you have to be able to wake up in the morning, work hard, and be consistent, and regardless of how you feel, what's going on in your life, you have to wake up and and work for it, and then eventually you will get there. Don't pay attention to negativity, don't pay attention to what other people say and their opinion. It doesn't matter at the end of the day. If I have paid attention, like about me, how I'm handling the sharks, every local dive guide hates me. They think I'm doing wrong, I should not do that, I shouldn't do that. People call me, even fake media, reports and so many. But if I had paid attention, I would probably not be where I am now. I never cared about it. Obviously, you listen to other people's opinion if they are better than you. And then you take it, listen, and if it is good, you take it, and if it not, just ignore it. Just keep doing what you're doing.
I think it's wise to listen what other people think, of course. Also competitors, I think it's wise to listen and to see, but you cannot let affect you, especially when it's from people that comes with hate. You can, like, I had opinions that you can see that they are people who has an opinion, and it's something that it can get me to improve something that I am doing wrong, because again, we are humans and we make mistakes. But sometimes I have comments that are full of hate, and it's only people that they just don't want you to be successful. And also, an important thing that you say is too, like, you have to focus on your own way and your path and keep working. You can never look at other people and try to ruin their business in order to grow. Like, the only way to grow is just like grow your own business, do your things good, like work on your own project. Never spend energy in trying to ruin other business, which is something that I have experienced. People that instead of growing their own businesses, they are more focusing like, how can I hurt this human? That will never help. Like, the key of success is just trying to be a better version of you, trying to improve things for your business, like trying to be good in what you do in order to try to hurt other people. It's just like something, as you say, like competitors hates you. Hate is gone. Haters are gonna hate.
The more successful you are, the more haters you're gonna have. It's a fact. Like, it is how it is. You experience that. I personally experience it. Everybody experience it. Yeah, so moving I want to talk a little bit about the experiences in the ocean. So I know you love whales.
Yes.
Do you love whales more than sharks?
Unfortunately for you, yes.
Why? Why do you love whales so much?
I feel like any mammals, in general, dolphins, whales, again, like, we feel more connected to them because we are mammals also, no? Like, sharks are amazing. I love them. Actually, when I was a little girl, when I was a child, I remember I used to tell my mom was like, okay, let's read this book about princess. And I was like, no, let's just read these books about sharks. I always love sharks. But when I first encountered a good experience with whales, it's just like, I cannot even describe it. I cannot put it in words. It's just magic. It's amazing. Like, the energy that they have in the water, how they behave with the calves, like how they go in groups, how they sing, for example, humpback whales, how big they are. Like, blue whale is something that I still didn't experience. Like, I am waiting for my time. But whales are from another world. I feel like it's the closest thing to a dinosaur that we have on Earth now. And experience and encounter with these amazing creatures is something that we should all be available to do in life. It changed your life.
I mean, I just recently, I've always been a shark guy, and I think... first time actually I had experience with blue whale is in the Maldives. I remember it was 2010 or 11. Yeah, I was diving in the northern atoll from us with 4 open water students, and I was teaching, and it was their two open water students. It was their last dive of the course. And I took them to this channel, but inside the channel there's a nice protected area of a reef, and I was diving like, and whatever. After like 35-40 minutes, all of a sudden kind of like, there's a massive, like, a shadow above us. I was like, what the fuck is this boat doing about on top of us?
And it was the whale.
And I was like, no, there's no engine sound. What is it? And I look up, and there's a blue whale, a massive blue whale right above our head, like just passing by. And I was like, whoa, what the hell is that?
Wow, how lucky.
And again, I felt amazed how big they are. But for me, the feeling I get is like they're big, they're massive, they're beautiful, but it's not. I think it has something to do with how to say, adrenaline. Because for me, like diving with tigers or great whites, and like it gives me a lot of adrenaline. When I am with the whales, I feel like it's cute, it's loving, it's caring. There's different feelings.
It's different feelings.
A
Yes.
very different feeling. But for me, I prefer sharks because it gives me adrenaline and like the teeth, and like I like it more.
Yeah. It's different feeling. I love sharks also. And actually, my best encounter with humpback whales was here also in the Maldives, very close to Mafusi actually. It was in August 2021 that we have this humpback whale with a calf for like so many days around Mafusi. And it was amazing. Like the calf was very curious. He came to check on us, and it's just like, I think it's also have to do something with the size, no? It's just like 18 meters animal coming close to you. The mom was massive. It was huge. And it's just like, every encounter is special and beautiful, and I think every person is connected to an animal or other.
It is, yeah. I mean, it's interesting to, like, for me, I always like to ask this question with my friends. Like it's either most of them love mammals. Most
Your
of them.
favorite animal is shark.
Tiger shark.
If you
is
have
a-
to choose one.
Yeah, I will do it or choose it over any. But this being said, I started a journey to understand mammals more now.
Yeah.
So when I travel or when I go to places, I am actively looking to have these experiences and understand what you feel. And most of my friends like Ash and everybody, like, well, how they feel about why they love this so much. I'm like, for me, it's a journey to understand. And then I love them. I think it's so fascinating. They're beautiful. They're so intelligent. For example, orcas. One of, or if not the most intelligent being on the planet. And like it's just the amount of emotions and connections they have with themselves and humans are incredible.
Yeah.
Like I want to explore more. I want to understand it more, and hopefully one day, I don't know, in 3 years, like we'll be sitting here and then I'll say, okay, my favorite
Favorite
is something else. Yeah.
Also depends on the encounter that you
Yeah.
have. No, sometimes it can happen that is a normal, and sometimes if you have an interaction, I feel like also with mammals they can interact with you. Like I had even here in the Maldives dolphins, that the mom come with the calf again, and then they put them around you. They come and play with you. It's just different. Sharks are amazing, but they don't really care about you. Like basically,
they
if
don't.
anything, they want you out of the scene
No,
to eat
they
their
don't.
tunas happily.
They don't care necessarily about your there or your presence there. They're apex predators,
Yeah.
like they just do what they want to do and they leave. And I think that's the beauty for me. They don't give a damn about you.
Yeah.
And that's like the thing.
What
But-
will they think, no? Because they will see every day, I don't know, 20, 30 divers like, and they are like, I don't care about you.
Yeah, I
Why
don't
do you
care.
care about me?
Yeah. And you see, I went yesterday, we had like 10 sharks, and
Yeah.
one of them was massive, and she didn't give a damn about any of us.
No.
Yeah, and I actually wanted to ask you this question because you do groups, and sometimes your groups are like 20 people, 40 people, and someone who likes to do things in private. When I go places, I hire a private board, private guy, whatever, and do things on private. Why would people join on groups? Because when the group is bigger, there are some advantages and then there's disadvantage.
Yeah,
like
of
why do
course.
you think?
My groups are never 40. They are always 20. Sometimes I have two different groups in the same week. That's why the number of people is 40. But I never put 40 people in the same boat. I put 20. And usually when they are 20, for example, here, when we bring the 20 people, we put 10 and 10. We do groups. What I feel is special also about Entre Azules, and one of the keys of the company is just like, usually it's a lot of people that wants to travel with someone and they don't have friends. The biggest target that I have is like women around my age, 35, 30, 40. The whole group of friends of them, they are already married with kids. They don't travel a lot. And they want to travel, but they don't want to travel alone. Some people, they just don't like to travel alone. They prefer to go in a group. And the good thing is like the vibe that is in the groups is just like Spanish people. I feel like we are very friendly, very noisy. We like to party.
Oh, tell me about it.
Exactly. And then they found themselves in a cool group of people that are fun. They make jokes. You have your own room, so when you need your space, you go to your room. But also, then you have a cool group of people that are there with the same vibe, the same energy. They are on vacation, so when you are on vacation, you feel more free. You are in a good mood only because you are on vacation. So I think it's a very cool way of meeting people, getting to know new friends. It's a very cool way of meeting people. I think traveling groups, I am with you. Like sometimes I prefer to go alone, but sometimes it's just cool to have a good group of friends. And actually, like the people that come to my groups is normally young people, again, like that like the same thing. They like to travel, they like the ocean. So it's a very cool way of meeting people. Now you have to always be careful, and that's why I'm making sure that I say this. Like we always make groups. So for example, in other destinations that we have groups of 16 people, we always put 8 people in one boat, 8 people in the other boat, always thinking that you have to respect the animals. And obviously the encounters are better when you have like 2-3 people going to see a turtle than 20 people. Like it's more like the 20 people is more in terms of going for dinners and partying after the boats. It's cool to hang out with a group of people, but it's just like I feel like it's something that I was actually impressed, that I thought that in some groups I will have problems. No, for sure it will be a group when people don't like each other, and it never happened. Like the vibe is very good in the groups. Like people are just having fun, and then they are different people from completely different situations and families, and even like social, how you say this in English, but they come from completely different worlds, and then they become friends because again they are experiencing something new. They are swimming with sharks for the first time, so at the end like they get attached to each other. It's just like
Yeah, that's amazing. It's a good answer, to be honest. Like, I think I can understand. So a lot of people are not comfortable planning their trips, and they don't have enough information about the location, or not comfortable traveling alone. So to know that you're traveling with someone or with a group, or you've been taken care of and everything is organized for, then it kind of attractive for a lot of people. Yeah. Um. Yeah. So I think that's pretty much it.
yes.
What is, like, when is your book coming out?
The new book is coming out on September 19. 2 months. No?
What
2
is the
months.
book title?
The name in Spanish is El Sol Brillará Mañana. The sun will shine tomorrow. And it's actually a very cool novel about the problems that we have in the ocean, that we face in the ocean with sharks. It's about a girl that doesn't really know what happened in the shark industry and the black side of the shark industry, because to close this interview, we have been talking about the beautiful things that you can experience in the ocean, but as you know, there is a lot of problems inside. That is actually something cool that my people understand when they come here. No, it's just like they learn what we can do to improve the situation, not eating a lot of fish, like just getting information about what's going on out there, no, because no one really knows. So as soon as they come, they start seeing documentaries, and they start understanding the big problems that we face, especially sharks. That is an animal that a lot of people hate. You love them, and then you are surrounded always with people that loves them because they come here to the last island in the Maldives to see sharks. But obviously, like 90% of the population in the world, they hate sharks. And this book is especially to change their minds. And then it's a girl, the main character again is a girl. Her name is Clara in the book, and it's inspired about our friend Clara. It's a marine biologist that is basically a girl that I learned most of the things that I know about the ocean thanks to her. And in the book, she is a girl that she's afraid of the ocean, and then she starts swimming. She falls in love with the sharks, and then she has a bad experience seeing how they kill sharks. And then she's like, but why are they killing? No, because everyone thinks that it's for the soups. There is a lot of things that people don't know. And the whole book is about that. So I think it's a book that that is special, and I am very happy to launch, because I think it's going to change the way of seeing sharks to a lot of people.
Thank you very much for doing that. And I think, even though your favorite animal is whales, and like I am so happy you wrote a book about sharks, and probably you were thinking of me, I hope. Like
yes. For sure you will come in. You were one of the first shark people that I met. This is the truth.
Yeah, hopefully you got some inspiration from your all experiences about sharks. But you told me, I think you're published as one of the biggest, right?
It's a good one, yes.
Yeah,
it's a very good one.
It's a really good, and I hope this book really does well. Is it gonna be in English, or is it also in Spanish?
Hopefully, yes. Like basically the books, what they do is like once you reach to a certain number of books out. If it's going good enough, they will translate to English. But this publishing company is big, so I have big expectations, and I think it will happen. Hopefully,
Yeah,
soon.
we can't wait to read that book, and hopefully, more people. And one of the question at the end of my podcast I asked to every guest so far is, how do because I'm a shark guy,
I know.
there's no doubt. There's whales, you love whales, everyone, I think it's very easy to connect with something, a mammal, right?
Yeah.
It's like, for example, the humpback, somebody recorded their like sound, right? They're singing, put it on a CD and start selling it. And so I think the Netgeo, somebody sold like millions of copies of that. And people here in Wales, singing, humpback singing, they kind of like made the whole whaling industry and people mindset change, and then they start protecting. And now foremost, like a lot of whales are protected, and people love them, people adore them.
Yeah.
But with sharks, over 150 million sharks are being killed
Kill.
every year. People tend to not have these kind of emotional connection towards sharks. In your opinion, what could be that one thing? For example, I'll give you an example. There was this video, someone pulling out a plastic straw out of
I
a
know.
turtle's nose, and it changed the entire industry of plastic straw. Everybody started changing from plastic straw to biodegradable or reusable straws, and like a lot of conversation around that. What could be those kind of moments for a shark, especially tiger sharks?
Easy answer. I feel, again, sharks is something that we have been seeing in horror movies our whole life. Everything that we see about sharks in the news, in the movies, is like sharks killing people, which is something that then at the end of the day doesn't even really happen in reality, no? And what I think is like putting people in the water with sharks is the change. It's just like they understand that they don't bite them, they don't eat them, they experience the beauty. So basically telling these stories is the future for sharks. It's not, sometimes I even get a little upset with the photographers of sharks, because the best shots are the ones where the sharks look completely scary, like yesterday with the tooth out or looking aggressive, when basically like the most beautiful thing is, to me, even with tiger sharks, when they go like this hiding and looking for the food around the rocks, it's just beautiful. It's like you understand that they are like sharks that with us they will not be aggressive. Yes, showing the beauty part of the sharks to the world, especially to people that are not divers. Again, the future is not divers, because divers, if you think about it, is a very small community in the world. It's just like you go to Madrid, you go to a restaurant, a random restaurant, and then you go, excuse, how many people here has the open water? And you will get two hands. Usually people in a lot of cities and things, they don't really dive. So for that people, sharks are something scary. The beauty is like trying to change the mind of these people. And for example, this is why I think this book is going to be successful, because it's a whole novel with love stories and things like people like to read in the novels. If you think about it, there is not even one novel that has been crazy successful in the world. Like Nicholas Sparks is one of the best writers in history, and he writes about love. And this is something why my publishing company is very excited about this book, because it's a novel with a beautiful story, but the whole background is the sharks. So I think this is going to get to people understand the problems, but with a love story, and a beautiful novel that is like, oh, but at the end you are learning this beautiful story, but you are reading this beautiful story, but you are learning a lot about sharks. So I think the future, it will be like, that there is a lot of documentaries out there, but who sees these documentaries? Not these people that are afraid of sharks. You see the documentaries, I do also, but I think it will be amazing to make a movie from a very good director, really, like a cool movie where people understand the sharks, but the main thing is not the sharks. Yeah. It should be something like, I don't know, fiction, like, I don't know how to tell, but actually this book is something that we are going to try, because it's just that. It's just like putting a love story or something like that, and the behind of the main story is the sharks, so people understand and fall in love with them, but not with an accident. Or like, also again, like the documentaries that are out there, is like this surfer that the shark eat the leg and now he's a shark lover, but for people that doesn't understand, it's just like, oi, but there is always blood around sharks, even in the documentaries. We need to show the beauty of sharks.
I agree with you. And that's why a lot of my content is interactions. You know, me like sharks and I, like we interact and learning behaviors. Obviously, they are apex predators. You know, like when you're in the water, you have to give them the respect. And but there's beauty in it. They not like as media portrayed as you say, sharks are one of the most important for our ecosystem. You know, to they are on the top of the food chain. So they need to be protected in order for us to survive.
Exactly.
They at any cost we have to protect them. And I'm really grateful and thankful to you that you decided to write a book around sharks, and I cannot wait to read it when it get translated. Oh, I have to learn Spanish. Either way, I would.
You can use apps. No, it will get translated. That's why
Yeah.
the title is "The Sun Will Shine Tomorrow," not only for us, for sharks. It's just
Yeah,
like I
amazing.
think there is an animal that really needs help.
Yeah, Anna, thank you for joining me and our friendship. I always admire you and you inspire me, and yeah, and
I feel the
hopefully.
same. This is the truth.
Uh,
Now being romantic.
no, it is true. You know, you inspire me, especially what you have done. You know, being a successful person in the industry and businesses, I know how much work it does. And I have a team of 17, 18 people
Yeah.
work for me. And most of your work at the beginning, you did it on your own.
Yes.
And
True.
it inspires me a lot, everything you do. And then hopefully there's lessons to be learned for everybody. And I wish you nothing but more successful with the book and everything that is coming, and more experiences in the ocean. And I wish you're gonna see blue whales one day
Soon.
soon. Yeah.
Thank you, Ina. Thank you
Thank
so
you,
much.
Miss.
I feel the same. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank
Bye.
you.